The sound of noisy excavators and grinding machines was the sort of welcome handed visitors to Wassa Akropong, Ghana's Galamsey capital town, some 7 months ago, as the artisanal miners milled hard stones and rocks into powder so they could extract the precious metal gold. The gold rush was just the preserve of the indigents here. It pulled people from all over the country and the West African sub-regions, as well as some from beyond Africa. Of those who came from beyond the continent, the Chinese were the most dominant. The growing numbers over time brought pressure on the limited social amenities available. But the visitors quickly put their money to work, putting up buildings to provide housing and establishing their own market without having to turn to central governments. Restaurants, hotels, and pubs were built and businesses were booming, and along with it, devices that came with prosperity. Prostitution, high crime rates, and alignments which previously did not exist. Some 7 months on, and the story is very different here at Wassa Akropong, the district capital of Amenfi East in the western region, about 3 hours drive from the regional capital by road. The town is quiet, almost like a cemetery. Businesses are no longer brisk. The noisy excavators and grinding machines have all gone silent. The dust has settled, and though the shops are opened, there are very few shoppers and nightlife is more of quiet life now. Frank, once an active miner, says life in the town is not what it used to be.
The destruction of the environment basically has reduced. Some waters have started being cleansed. I was part of those people who were selected to be trained at UMAT, and positively I think the government has done well. But the way you think is not the way other people think. You understand? Because it has been their livelihood and there was a ban on it. You understand? So people do not have opportunity, and regulation since January last year, you understand, people have been in this hardship for a very long time. We are praying government to come early with such regulation and solutions so that people can work.
On the outskirts of Wassa Akropong, one of the pits from where the gold was mined is now overgrown with weeds, having been abandoned in the last 7 months of the ban. For now, it remains a death trap as it is yet to be reclaimed. Less than a kilometer from the abandoned Galamsey site sits idle the heavy equipment used by illegal miners. For 1,800 cedis, they could be available for one's use for 8 hours. About 100 of them, though, are wasting away.
And I'm saying a call from Mintinamo, a money and a call from Mizikasi, so more packet, and I buy it to the eyes over to the Japanese eye. Because I'm being a buy if you must be in a Kazi with the park in Jana, the ABR and America. The thing is, I go as a fancy of the human being to be answered. In a way, I was a banana in Kapa. You tell me, I am because I did this. What a friendly day.
After the processing and all the pure gold gets to dealers like Sami and the hundreds of dealers who have opened offices here at Wassa Akropong, he tells me his earnings have shrunk significantly since the ban. A result to because you see, I'm a HND holder. But because a Jumani holding Tino, say Juman, I made them washing my feeding my family. A day sham Quara Monsu, a coming home. Necoban said Juman, means to some Cobocrono. And Obinsu or a Juman on a back of Bocrono. As answered in Simple Brenana bed. You see, us all from say Modio Monsaka Calam says, oh, crimes, especially a band of Chrono Sema, a cost to be breeze. The first 20%, I say the number 90%.
Because be a sorry person or treat you call Robin. And rap also will be because of say Nimpana access over Galamsey and Yan and audience about or console. So please, we are pleading to the government say Obabo Modian audience is a papa ban near to me. I hear man and what toy.
Back in the town, traders at the market share similar stories. Most of the sheds here have been abandoned.
Galamsey was on the Omobadi, Tomayan. Yes, you ain't been here, dear. I said, and yet cry, and yet sky lie. I called you. They say, I told you I'd been behind the tea room. Ushambolia, it's your bear now, now, mole pine back on. Let us bunch ball and yet top. And yet you want in your money, I have bassa, and yet did you.
And I said, Galamsey, woman, and yet I be turning your shit to say, first.
I passed the night at Wassa Akropong to see how nightlife has been impacted by the lull in business. Shanghai City, the entertainment hub, at 8 p.m. was virtually empty. I was drawn to what I was told was one of the most popular pubs in town, K3 Sports. But despite the loud music blaring from the speakers, there was only a handful of people, including Wassa Akropong, the owner. Nelson Ohini Bediakon, a father of two and a level 300 student of Gimpa, was drawn to Wassa Akropong because he thought he could make some good money of the sweat of the artisanal miners here. That's why he set up this pork joint right in front of K3 Sports.
All right. In those days, business used to be very good. I would say in a day, I used to sell about 2,000 in a day. But look at me here now. If it was before, I wouldn't even get time for you to interview me as at this time because I will be very busy as at that time. But now there's no business at all. There's no business. The business has come down totally. Since they told the Galamsey people to stop work, it has affected every business and everybody in this community. In fact, I am finding it very, very difficult to sell. And dealing with pork too is very, very delicate because if you come and then you don't sell it, you take it home and then it goes bad. You see, so this is affecting everybody around us here. To tell you the truth, since morning I came here, I've only sold only 500 Ghana cedis. And even the 500 Ghana cedis, it's not everybody that they have paid me. Some of them said they are going to come back again. You see, it is very bad.
It's daybreak at Wassa Akropong and the final day of my trip here. At the local eatery, Bermankwan, where I went to have a meal, the operator could not help but share his frustration when he noticed I was a reporter. Isaac echoes the sentiment of most of the people who do business in the town. Not everyone is complaining though. Others, such as Kofi Man, a secretary of Wassa Akropong GPRTU, believes the ban on Galamsey has indeed brought some relief to them.
Galamsey, this Abuama, 18 I'm never working for the Adeno, and it's the same in and we should move our first month. A shas yes, almost started almost upon. You see, I need to have the question. She knew who said, and you know, as a scientist first now more nti wonu say the hard to me no I'm saying no call from na man name azo I standard na say and this first na I name up no cut high too much na aduane ho ye den this year na a year me hu say we do market days are posters no
Paramount Chief of Wassa Akropong Traditional Area, Tetrete Ekuamwa Sechim II, agrees the local economy has been severely crippled by the ban, but believes it is in their best interest.
After the ban, I would say it has had significant effect on Wassa Akropong, with Wassa Akropong in particular. And it's the truth, because the guys who that was their means of livelihood, and it's no longer there. So if you ask, then that's the truth. It has impact on my people.
And do you worry that some years it will have effect on them?
That is very true. And the guys themselves, they don't care, but we care, because we know the impact, 10, 15 years from now. And we've embarked on an education program to educate them. And I believe when the government placed a ban on Galamsey, they've had a series of workshops and training at UMAT. And those who happen to go to those programs are now the guys advising their fellows to stay away from mercury. And I believe once the government comes out with the modalities, we hope that they will do sensible mining without relying on mercury for whatever they were doing.
It is without a doubt that most Ghanaians are happy to know the 7-month ban on illegal mining is bringing some relief to the environment as the water bodies clear up and the earth takes a breather from the pillaging. But those miners who believe they have been duly certified to operate are grieving that their equipment and leases are expiring, and along with it, their livelihoods. Their only plea is that government facilitate whatever plans it has for the sector so that they can resume their legitimate businesses. Ina-Thalia Quansah, JoyNews, Wassa Akropong.